Hello and welcome to this webcast regarding the Danish NCO Academy's use of lightweight simulation before field training, supported by xAPI. The Danish NCO Academy approached me about a year ago, asking if we could help them on some issues when they were training the NCO students on how to identify a fire position. They would like to make a very difficult subject a little more easy to understand for the students, and they wanted more quality in the field training, and if they could, they would like to save some time. Some of the concepts, they can be pretty hard to explain. It's difficult to explain a concept that is in 3D when you only have 2D equipment to do it. For instance, PowerPoints or a blackboard or whatever kind of equipment the instructors has to explain it. So they wanted to see if we could do something in 3D. Some of these it could easily lead to misunderstandings, and they would do something wrong when they were in the field on the field training day. It's difficult to explain the students what is a clear shot for the rifle, for instance. It sounds pretty easy, but it's not an easy concept to understand just initially. You have to be able to see some of the limits in the area where the rifleman has to be able to shoot or fire his weapon. He has some limits, a left limit and a right limit, and within these two limits he has to be able to fire his weapon. Then they need to be able to see some target reference points. That's some points in the terrain in front of the firing position where we expect the enemy to pop up. Then a very important issue is that they have to lie down to check if the firing position fulfills all these criteria. And then finally we would like that the NCOs or the squad leader, he walks all the way out to these target reference points to see how the enemy can influence from there on his firing positions. Another issue is that there were a lot of students and a few instructors. That obviously that gives some logistic issues, transportation between different areas. We have a lot of people in the position all around the place, and only one, maybe two instructors to handle all these questions and whatnot. So it could be really easy for the instructor to lose the overview and figure out which of the students were doing well and who were not doing well. Feedback is a very important part of learning. So feedback is almost impossible to give an individual feedback when you have 30, 40 students doing the same thing and only one or two instructors. So they had to just gather around me, and they would get a group like feedback instead of more individual feedback. So what did we do to solve that problem? What we did was we built a lightweight simulation to support the field training, and we hooked it up with xAPI so that we could give some excellent after-action feedback to the individual student. Now on the screen now, we have the front page of the application, of the simulation. It consists of a menu on the right side, over here, and in the simulation we have 10 different levels. The levels are different in that way that it's different terrain. So some are with hills and some are with a lot of bushes and scrubs, And in that way, some are with buildings and some are not. So they get 10 different terrain types to do the task in. They can get an instruction in how to operate the game. They can, if they kind of forgot how to do check how a firing position is working, how they should find a firing position, then they can watch a video to get up to speed on that again. And then they just have to jump in and dive in some of the levels and do that. I'll open, we can just take one, for instance, level 4. When the level opens, they can get some supplementary orders from the platoon commander. And then they can just start the orders by clicking, and now the platoon commander is giving his supplementary orders to where is the left limit and the right limit of his battle position. Where can he find his firing positions? He will get the right limit and the left limit of the firing area or the kill zone. He will get the target reference points, the last line of where he can open fire, and things like that. When the platoon commander has ended his orders, he can move on. Now, the task for the student is to figure out where can I find some good firing positions. He walks. We have some that are already marked up, and that's the ones that they has to check if they can use them. So now we can use the F1. Then we have a lot of shortcuts in the game. Not a lot, but we have a few shortcuts. For instance, if he forgot where his limits are, he can just click the shortcut. Now he can see, these are my limits for this area. And when he is in an area of interest, it's very important that he's lying down and checking. And now you can see suddenly it's a quite different picture he gets here. And then standing up and laying down. Okay, now he's seen this, the first one, and we will walk all the way to the second. I can run as well. This is the second possibility. We can see we have the right limitation, we have a target reference point, and we have the left limitation. And then if I lie down, I can see absolutely nothing from this one. This is a very bad firing position. Walk away all the way up to number 3. This is looking a little bit better. I'll try to go down. Oh, I lost it again. So we have to look again. All the way to number 4. Now we're talking. Okay, this looks really good. So now we remember number 4. That's a pretty good one. And we will, and then the idea is that he should go to all 6 of them. He has 6 possibilities. Now I will see if number 5 is okay. Lie down. It's not super good, but okay. So now let's say I have been in all the positions. I have not walked all the way out to any of the target reference points as I'm supposed to. But let's leave it at that. And now I will say, okay, I'm ready. And I I'm told now that I have to select 2 positions, and I will take number 4, and just for the fun of it, number 2, which we remember is a poor choice. Then I will just click on the ready button, and now I will get an individual feedback for what I have for the positions I have chosen. This is number 4, and if we look on the right side of this written feedback, you can see it's all green except for these 2, and that's the 2 points where I should have walked all the way out to the target reference points to check if they were good. But I won't fail because of that. And then I can click on the next. I get by the way, I get a feedback on a clear shot, and can I see the target reference points? How is the camouflage? How is the coverage? And so on and so on. I click on the next button, and then I get to position number 2, which was really a bad one. This qualifies itself by the first 2 bullets up there. They are red, clear shot, and view on the target reference point. So you can see that's not good. Okay, I will say that I'm done. And okay. I get a feedback here that just one of the positions I selected is okay. I get a score of 1050. You should try again. And then I can just click, go on, and I get back into to the start of the simulation again. Now, that was just a short introduction to the game and how the students are using it. Now we will go to see how it works in the xAPI and the data I have just produced by doing this. I will go into our application called Learning Logger, and there we can I just have to refresh it here. Now you can see I have completed task number 4. I have selected position number 2 and selected position number 4. I performed like I laid down at number 4. I laid down at number 3, and so on and so on. So I can go in and see exactly what the students have done in each case. What is more important, we can create some dashboards which gives us a better view of what has happened. For instance, this is from a lot of different students here. They have we go in level 1 and we check, do they lay down at position number 1? If they do, we can see a lot of them has done it, and some has done it 2 times, and even here one that has done it 3 times. So that'll give us a view. I have made another dashboard here. You can see this is level 3, laying down at a position. For instance, this is position number 1, 2, 3, and 4 with these different colors, and I can go in and say, okay, this one. He didn't lay down on anything, actually. The second one, they did it all. You can see this, the orange is position 1, the red, and so on and so forth. So that will give the instructor a good picture of who is actually laying down at the positions and who is not. We can make another dashboard where we show who is going to the target reference points and so on. So it is a very good tool for the instructor to use before he goes in the field with his students. What have we actually achieved by building this simulation? In the NCO Academy, they already have cut off 1 day of field training due to this. So instead of being out there 2 days, they are now only out there for 1 day. Plus, the students have already now been virtually in 10 different scenarios, doing the reconnaissance and doing the stuff they has to do to select a functioning fire position. The students are, when they come out in the field, they are well prepared. They have fewer questions for the instructor, which is a good thing, because the instructor, there is actually only one instructor, or maybe two on a hot day. So that leaves him time to focus on something else. The instructor can, before he leaves, they can now prepare a cheat sheet where he can check on which of the students are actually remembering to lie down, which are going to the target reference point, do they select a proper fire position, and he can go in the learning locker and check out who's doing it and who's not. So he can go in the field with some focus areas, and already maybe be able to assist some of the students that maybe have misunderstood something. Furthermore, all these data that comes from the game or from the simulation, they're created without any instructor being there. The students, they can go home, they install it on their own PC, and then they work on it in their own time. And then when they come back, they are prepared and ready to go in the field for the training day. The project took us about 6 months to complete, to build it. We build these kind of projects in-house. 2 men, an instructional designer, a programmer, and a 3D artist who has built all the terrain, all the assets in the game. The 3D artist's workload is more or less 80%, and the rest, the 20%, that's the subject matter expert, the programming, and project management. So around 6 months, but during the 6 months we had other projects as well. So it was not completely full time for 6 months. So it's not so time consuming to build this, and actually saving a lot of time and effort for the students. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.